Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Evangeline Byars Fights Back with Angelita Bacchus. So, welcome, everyone. My name is Evangeline Byars. I'm running for president of TWU Local 100, and I have station agent Angelita Bacchus here with me, and we're going to be discussing this win that just came in. We won in arbitration. Uh, Attorney Martin Druyan. He was the attorney who represented Angelita Bacchus. As you know, we've been raising money to help defray the cost of getting an outside lawyer to represent Angelita due to the fact that the union, well, not even the union, the president of the union, Richie No Davis, handed over, served Angelita up to management because of her political affiliation with me. And due to him serving her up to management, give me 1 second, everyone. I just want to fix something. Sorry about this. Handout. Let's discuss. Sorry, everyone. Sorry, everyone. Okay. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was just making sure that, on all platforms you all could see uh, the the live stream. So yes, so basically what happened was the appointed president of the union, took it upon himself to serve Angelita up to management. And all because of her political affiliation. If you remember, we led the Safe Subways and Buses rally, uh, which stated an injury to one is an injury to all outside of the governor's office. And Angelita attended those rallies. And by attending those rallies, the union decided, because she was fighting for safety and she basically spoke to the press about what was happening to her and that she had to speak up about fair evasion and different things that had happened to her, the appointed president, decided to hand her over to management to be terminated. We have streamed, if you have not seen or heard that audio, it would be behoove you to go and listen to the appointed president tell Angelita that he would not save her job and that she was to reach out to me once I become president and that I would get her job back. So once Angelita brought me the recording and told me what had happened, initially when she gave me the recording, I was listening to her, but I didn't really listen to it. And then I sat down and took some time to listen to exactly what it was that he had to say. And I was shocked that a president of a union, even someone as low down as the appointed president, that they would, do that to a member, to put them up for serve them up to management to be terminated. Just to give you the backstory, remember Angelita was basically, challenging the appointed president about unsafe conditions in the workplace. He took it upon himself to talk about myself and Mr. Tremel Thompson, and ultimately, basically, walked out on her and told her that when I become president, for me to get her job back. That led to management then coming in and taking her pass and taking her and putting her out of work. So she's been out of work now over 2.5 months. Is that correct, Angelita?
Yep, since
Two and
May
a half
20th.
since May 20th. And so when she told me about it, we I called an attorney that I knew, Mr. Martin. He had worked on some cases here with me before and was victorious. So we decided to go with Mr. Martin and to let him represent her in arbitration. We also have a GoFundMe. I want you all to understand that this has now turned into a movement to help employees who are being served up to management to have fair representation as far as attorneys when the union becomes an adversary. So it's important that you all donate to the GoFundMe. $5, $10, $2, $1, whatever it is you can give, helps to defray the cost when we have to spring into action. So I just want Angelita to give you all, the backstory of how things went in arbitration and how she feels about being back on the clock.
Okay, thanks, Evangeline. Pretty much, well, there are different steps to the arbitration. So I want to start from the PDS challenge because that's when my
Hmm.
eyes started to open. We have step one, we have step two, and I was supposed to have the PDS challenge prior to all of that. So when they took my badge in May, 48 hours, I should have had my PDS challenge. They give me in 30 days. So that gave management extra room to keep me out of work. 30 days is
Hmm.
not the normal time for a PDS challenge. Then when I observed that Anthony keep telling me plead the fifth in the first hearing, then the second hearing, plead the fifth. I was like, why am I pleading the fifth in every hearing? You got to beat these charges down. And
Hmm.
that's when I finally wake up and I say, you know what? Evangeline is right. Let's just grab what's left. And what was left is the arbitration. Because he messed up step one, he messed up step two, and I tried to lobby for myself, but I had no support. He was literally in the room agreeing with half or more of what management was saying. So for a
Hmm.
minute, I was like, are you my rep or are you their rep? So I fought through step two hearing, and then it all came to clarity that I needed to take a step away from the union. It's like he kind of concealed, what's the word I'm looking for? Confirm everything, telling me you'll fight for my job. In less than 24 hours, my badge was taken after keeping me there for 5 months. So it was a matter of him and management having a conversation, and my badge was taken. Then I'm looking at step one, step two, the PDS. I'm like, they're drowning me. They're not helping me. So I said,
Hmm.
you know what? Let me listen to Evangeline, grab the case while we can, bring in an outside attorney. So now we're going to get them where we want them so they'll do the right thing. So pretty much that's where we were on that day. And then Mr. Martin came in. He fought like hell. I was sitting there just looking at the two of them going back and forth. And eventually the arbitrator came down with the verdict. Okay, she has to go back to work with no delay and whatever penalty I had to suffer. Because to be honest, I'm not going to sit here and be proud. I did the wrong thing. Everything I said was right. I don't regret what I said, but it's the way I did it. So I expect to get some kind of, punishment or whatever, but they didn't have to drag me that far. I feel like they wanted me to quit. That's how I
Hmm.
feel.
Right. So I just wanted to piggyback off something you said. Angelita just discussed the process of her being brought back to work. So I want you to understand what happened. On Friday was her hearing. The arbitrator already had made up their mind on Friday what they were going to do. He asked Mr. Martin and uh, and Kenneth St. John, who is the union's attorney, to put in to submit a final summary, and that he gave them 7 days, and then but it was clear to Mr. Martin that the arbitrator had made up his mind because of what he asked for and how fast he was trying to bring back a decision. So we sort of were in understood that we had a win, but we didn't know what that would be like, right? And so this, um, the arbitrator said once they submitted the papers that he would give his decision by Monday. Well, the decision came in last night. That is what is considered a bench award, meaning that the judge or the arbitrator is basically ruling from the bench. And the reason why it's a bench award because in it he says to put Angelita back to work without delay. So this morning, the award was issued last night around 8 o'clock this morning. If I'm correct, Angelita, you were
Yeah.
back to work. And so I want you all to understand something. What Richie Davis did for Angelita was actually, he actually helped her, right? Did it cost us something financially? Yes. But at the end of the day, now the members understand, what we talk about when we say that the union is working along with management and serving up members to management for political reasons, and not only political reasons, right? This is happening throughout the system around the board, that when people are going into their hearings, what Angelita is telling them to plead the fifth, don't say anything in your hearings, be quiet, you can't speak, don't say anything, be quiet because management has you. These are the things that are being done that we talk about all the time. And because our members do not have any training on what it is to be a shop steward, or understanding their rights and how and what they need to do when they go through a step one and step two hearing and what to expect, often members make huge mistakes, either taking uh, excessive discipline that they do not deserve. The union does not follow the uh, what is it called, the uh, I'm forgetting it
Is
right
it
now.
progressive
Progressive
discipline?
discipline, correct. The schedule for progressive discipline. And so you can be a person who had a clean record and end up with 30 days in a final. You can be a person with a clean record and just be pushed straight to termination if you do not understand that we have progressive discipline and that they cannot just fire you because you make a mistake or something happens at work, right? You have to have due process. And a lot of times, and almost all the time, this is being denied. So we're very excited about this win. I'm happy that Angelita is back to work. And one of the things that I have committed to you all is that I would put grievance and discipline and ensuring that workers, that our members are not terminated, that grievance and discipline is a top priority in my administration. I am going to overhaul and revamp 2 Broadway. The 2 Broadway that you see today will not be the 2 Broadway that will be under my administration. There will be huge changes to the way discipline is carried out. There will be an office of grievance and discipline, nothing like what you see now at 2 Broadway. Our attorneys who we have on salary will be doing work, real work, and we will be ensuring that the preservation of jobs is a top priority. Is there anything else you want to say, Angelita, about the process?
I mean, I'm glad that I was there and I was able to see firsthand what everyone else said about the union.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also glad that now that I want to join your team from the executive level, I know what I'm fighting for because I've seen
Mm-hmm.
people were traumatized. My fellow co-workers were, some of them quit. I have their phone numbers and I was like, don't quit. But they got so broken and so like, it's like a
Mm.
mental, I don't know what's the word, agony. Because every day
Yes.
you go to work, well, not work, every day you go to the detention center, we started calling it the adult detention center. It's like you're waiting to go to the principal's office, like what's going to happen next? The anxiety that goes along with it, it's not worth it. So some people quit. So that's something. If anyone is looking and they're down there, because I met a few different faces down there today, don't
Mm-hmm.
quit. Do not quit. And I made sure I give them a little glimpse of my story, even though some people in the room who's probably not your supporters, because you know you have those in the room, they were giving me a
Right.
little energy. I still speak up and I say, listen, I've been here for 5 months. Hold on and fight back as best as you can.
Mm-hmm.
Because quitting and giving up on your 10 years, your 20 years, or how much time you put in, they don't worth it. All they care about is swinging the cards so they win.
Right.
So I'm
So
glad.
there's a
Mhm. Go ahead.
Right. So another thing I want to highlight too is what Angelita said about holding on there. If anybody who is watching this video or comes across this video, if you need our help, please inbox us. Angelita now understands the process. It's nothing like, I always tell everyone when they talk about becoming a union rep, right? They'll say, "Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do." I said, "You're not going to know what to do until you're in it." Right? You have to be in it You have to put your hands, get dirty, deal with the process in order to understand. You cannot walk into being a vice chair, a chairman, an executive board member and know how to do it unless you've had either prior experience, but you're going to learn on the job. So I want everybody who's listening to us to understand we need you to get involved, right? Get involved in the selection. Run for a delegate or an e-board seat. Make sure that your voice is heard and you're represented. We will train you. Angelita can tell you we do the trainings on Tuesday to make sure that you know your rights. You're not going to be comfortable at first, but it's important that you get involved. This is your union. You pay dues, right? You're a dues paying member. You should be a part of your union. A union is only as strong as its members, right? So we're going to continue to fight. Angelita now knows the process. If you are in the stations department, and if you're being told in the stations department, if you're being told in the stations department that to take days on paper, that's not discipline. If you're being told that you're put up for termination, Angelita now knows and understands the process. If you need help, you can reach out to us. We'll make sure that you all are um, okay, and we're going to help you, right? And I am committed to walking you through every step of the process. Is it tiring? We had some days where we were very concerned about what was happening, especially when every step of the way the union reps and the president and the vice president of the union stopped talking to Angelita. They would no longer answer her emails. She would call, no answer. They even tried to get her to deny, to say that she didn't want union representation. So she had a whole lot going on in the process. It was very, very frustrating when trying to just navigate the process. So we had to solely rely on the arbitrator and the attorney to bring this home. I wanted Mr. Martin to come on tonight, but he wound up having to travel unexpectedly, but we're going to bring Mr. Martin on again. I want you to hear from the lawyer, his perspective. He could not believe what he was seeing at 2 Broadway. The amount of people sitting for months at a time, waiting to be to hear have their case heard, not having the documents and everything that they need in order to even have their case reviewed. It was very, very stressful. So my sister has clicked on here and she asks, will she be compensated for the time she was out? No. So a part of the ruling that came down, uh, she will not be compensated for the time that she was out. They ruled time served, and that is because of the fact that she did break the rule by basically going live at work and everything else. However, she was able to keep her job, and we're able to move on from there. We received what is called the bench ruling so far, so we're waiting for the rest of the decision to come out. But the arbitrator made sure to instruct the MTA to put her back to work effective immediately. I want you also to understand something. The uh, the chair of the MTA, Janno Lieber, at the same time Angelita was up for termination, Janno Lieber was on 10-10 wins. Uh, Janno Lieber was on 10-10 wins, asking for assistance with fare evasion. Right? He was saying fare evaders are out of control. The system is out of control on the buses and the subways, and he needed help. And at the same time, they were trying to fire a whistleblower, someone who was advocating for her safety about the same thing. So it's very, very important that we understand what we're up against. Angelita is not the first person who we had to bring in an outside lawyer for who was victorious. We had Mr. Todd Brown, a track worker, who was put up for termination and dismissal due to investigation done by the IG during COVID, and he was victorious. We had another young woman who was fired while on probation. She got her job back, a train operator. So we've dealt in this area on more than one occasion, and we've consistently come out on top. And that is because we have a vested interest in ensuring that everyone who comes to us, everyone that comes to me, I take it very personal, and I fight for them as if I was fighting for myself. So it's very important that we continue to keep the fight up. And I would just want to let you know, you only lose when you stop fighting. You got to hold on. You got to be like what you called me in the video, a bullpit. You
A
know, you
bull
got to be a
pistol.
bullpit. Yeah, you got to be a bull pistol,
Bow,
right? You got
bow,
to
bow.
hold on. You got to hold on and not let go. You know, when you have truth and you are right, you don't give up. Okay, you don't give up. Sometimes when you don't have strength, you have to lean on the strength of others. And, we're stronger together and we only lose when we stop fighting. What I always say is that when we fight, we win. And I just was talking to a group of young ladies and I had them say that to themselves. When we fight, we win. Because you have to understand that in this life you're gonna have to fight. It's something that's a very uncomfortable feeling, knowing that you have to fight, because that means that you're constantly in opposition, but you gotta do what you gotta do in order to be victorious. So I'm excited about today. I'm excited about the direction that this union is going in. A part of our campaign slogan is moving forward. We are moving forward. We're going to make sure that we accomplish what we said we're going to accomplish. We can do so much more. I have some more things to talk to you about, but it's not for this live. I'll come back and talk to you about some things, but I'm really excited for Angelita. I think this is a fresh start for her. I think that, one day she called me and she wanted to give up, right? She was like, I don't know if I should do this, and I had to tell her, listen, you can't challenge and then not want to go all the way. You got to stick with it, right? You got to go all the way. This is what happens when you have to advocate and stand up. Had Angelita not said anything, the spotlight would not now be on fare evasion. The spotlight would not be on the fact that station agents and CTAs and train operators and conductors and bus operators are dealing with the fact that they're constantly being accosted by those who are fare evaders, and that the MTA created this problem and now they don't want to be held accountable for it and fix it. And so I'm excited about the fact that she now has won. She's victorious and she's going to be able to continue and go on. There were some people at 2 Broadway telling her today that she didn't win because she didn't get her all her back pay. It's okay. She still has her job. Her 10 years were not in vain. The appointed president has egg in his face because he just basically gave me the presidency by handing Angelita over to me and allowing me to serve her. And so I'm excited about what's happening. So before we close out, I want to give Angelita the last word to talk and to say whatever it is she has to say.
Pretty much that's it. I mean, I appreciate you. I see that you're a fighter and I'm standing with you. I'm talking to people on the road and they were like, yeah, she got my vote. She got my vote. So I feel like we're in it to win it. And on a funny note, because I'm silly, right? Mr. Martin was telling me when he left to Broadway, right across the street where Janno Lieber is fighting for fair evasion to be cut, right across the street in Bowling Green, everybody was jumping. So where's the cops? Where's the National Guards? If you really care about protecting your employees and not creating a hostile working environment for us, it's next door. They're jumping. They have no more respect for the cops. So be ready to
Oh,
hear the
wait,
truth.
wait, Mr. Martin just came in. We got to bring Mr. Martin on. Welcome, Mr. Martin. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Yes. How's the super lawyer?
Very good. Thank you.
Okay.
We're celebrating our victory, you know.
Yes, yes. So, Mr. Martin, just give some words to the members of Local 100 about, we were telling them that we were going to bring you on at another time so you can talk about the process of what's going on at 2 Broadway. We also want to let them know that they can get in touch with you if they need representation, that you're available to help. Just give us, just say something, tell us something.
Sure, Martin the lawyer here. Every case is important. Every client is important. Fighting for everybody. We don't overlook any members. If you want us, we're here for you. And we're not going to let anybody at transit, MTA, the supervisors, anybody walk away from you or walk over you. I grew up in the Bronx, Dewitt Clinton, Marshall Parkway, Grand Concourse, and you learn how to fight. So we fight. We have a
Yes,
contract.
you must have been listening to us. We just were saying that when we fight, we win.
That's right. And we're on the right fight. We're on this side of right. We have a contract. We have civil service laws. We have discrimination laws. We have seniority. Everything on our side. And they just have to give us the due process, and we're here for that due process. And everybody's important. We don't walk away from anybody. And if nobody's standing up for you, we will stand up for you. Every single member.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mr. Martin. I want to ask you something. Can you explain, just briefly, we'll come back again, but can you briefly explain to them the process that went on in arbitration? What was that like?
Well,
How did the TA?
there's always charges,
Hmm.
and they in the charges say what the misconduct was, and then there's a Dan with there's investigation and attachments. But I want to thank you, Evangeline. You read the charges, you read the contract, and you see the lies that they put together. They say that
Hmm.
there's lots of complainants. There were no lots of complainants. They say the public was complaining. The public wasn't complaining. It was them who's complaining. Management. They say your coworkers are complaining. The coworkers are not complaining. So they exaggerate and they make statements that are not really true. And you got to call them out on it. And that's what we do. And it's work. It's not easy to stand up to them and say, you're wrong, it's not true, it's not true. But, we have a lot of strength here. We work out, we eat vegetables, so we're strong.
That's it.
Can we eat
So
vegetables?
thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for all your hard work. And we'll be back again so we can do a more in-depth discussion about grievance and discipline. You also do workers' compensation. Is that correct, Mr. Martin?
Sure, if people are hurt, we help them. Uh, Evangeline has my number. Call her, call me. Like they say, the city doesn't sleep and we don't sleep. We help everybody. That's what we're here. Some people live off it. That's what we live to help you, the members.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Martin.
I thank
And
you
thank you
too,
for
Mr.
yes,
Martin.
thank you so much.
Thank you. Be well. And, we do it every day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And thank you, Evangeline, following your lead. And thank you, Angela, Lita. You too. We're all stick together here. God bless. Be well.
Be well.
Okay, be well, Mr. Martin. Okay, so now that was a great way to segue out. Segue out. You heard from Mr. Martin, and thank you all. Please share the video. Let the members know that this is. I'm not just talking about. I'm not just talking about serving you all and helping, but this is something that we're really, really committed to do. Right. So Remember, when we fight, we win. We'll be back again. And thank you all. Please share the video. Donate to the GoFundMe so that we can continue to help other people who are in trouble that are going to need our help. And stop taking charges without first asking someone, is this right? Stop taking stipulations and taking days in the street. Consult with us. Ask for help. Let another set of eyes look at it to make sure that what's happening to you should be happening to you, right? And if you do that, you'll be thankful that you do, and we'll work together. We'll find a way to make it happen. We found the money for Angelita, and we'll find the money for you too. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a good evening.
Have a good day, guys.
Okay, bye bye now.